Missouri, 1907. In the quiet town of Concordia, a girl named Kathryn Johanna Kuhlman was born into a German-American family. No one looking at her childhood could have imagined what was coming. Decades later, millions will know her voice. Thousands will gather simply to watch her walk onto a stage, and countless people will claim that something extraordinary happened when she prayed. Her name was Kathryn Kuhlman. At 14, Kathryn experienced what she would later describe as a profound spiritual awakening during a revival meeting. It changed the direction of her life. As a teenager, she joined her older sister, Myrtle, and brother-in-law, Everett Parrott, itinerant evangelists traveling through the American West. There, Kathryn discovered something unexpected. She could preach, and she believed she had been called to do it. By her early 20s, she was already traveling and preaching across places like Idaho, Utah, and Colorado. But this was only the beginning. In 1933, Kathryn settled in Denver. Her meetings grew, her congregation grew, and soon the Denver Revival Tabernacle became the center of a rapidly expanding ministry. She also entered the world of radio, bringing her message beyond the walls of the church. For a young woman in an era when female preachers were often viewed with suspicion, Kathryn was building something remarkable. But success would not protect her from failure. Then came the decision that would change everything. Kathryn became involved with evangelist Boris Waltrip, who had left his wife and children. Despite warnings from people close to her, Kathryn married him in 1938. The reaction was devastating. Her ministry in Denver suffered. The couple eventually separated, and their divorce was finalized years later. For Kathryn, the consequences went far beyond a failed marriage. Her reputation had been damaged. Her ministry had collapsed. And the woman who had once stood before growing crowds now had to find a way to begin again. In the mid-1940s, Kathryn moved east. Eventually, she found herself in Franklin, Pennsylvania. There, she began rebuilding her ministry through preaching and radio. And then, in 1946, something happened that would change the course of her life. During one of her meetings, a woman testified that she had experienced a remarkable physical healing. Then came other testimonies. More people began coming, and Kathryn's ministry slowly became associated with one word: miracles. The crowds grew beyond anything Franklin could contain. Pittsburgh became a major center of her ministry. At Carnegie Hall, thousands gathered for what became known as miracle services. But Kathryn rejected the idea that she was the one performing the miracles. She insisted that the healing belonged to the Holy Spirit. She was simply the witness. To believers, she was a woman through whom God was moving. To skeptics, the claims demanded investigation, and that tension would follow her for the rest of her life. Then Kathryn entered another frontier: television. Beginning in the 1960s, her broadcast carried ministry into homes across America. Her program, I Believed in Miracles, made her one of the most recognizable female religious figures of her generation. But behind the fame was a woman known for something far less glamorous: long hours of prayer, a life of travel, and an almost obsessive insistence that the attention should never belong to her. In 1975, Kathryn's health began to fail. She underwent open-heart surgery in Tulsa, Oklahoma on February 20th, 1976. Kathryn Kuhlman died. She was 68 years old. The woman who had spent decades standing beneath bright light was suddenly gone. But the questions surrounding her life remained. Were the miracles real? What happened in those crowded halls? And perhaps the most important question of all, what did Kathryn Kuhlman herself believe? She spent her life pointing away from herself, away from the stage, away from the applause, and towards something she believed was greater than any human being.